Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic. We are here days away, 5 sleeps away from the San Diego Loyal season starting. San Diego Loyal had a really busy weekend this past weekend, revealing their kits. The new Chadley kits, home away goalkeeper and goalkeeper away, have been released along with some street art. We're going to go ahead and get into the reaction, the live reactions, the reactions online, what people think. And of course, the most important thing is that we finally have a game to look forward to. Detroit City on Saturday. Detroit City, another playoff team that's coming here to Torero, March 11th. If you haven't got your tickets, hit up Weston, hit up the boy Weston. Just buy tickets from Weston. You know Weston. If you don't know Weston, we'll hook you up with Weston. We're also going to talk about the other side of kits. San Diego Wave also revealing their kits after a potential leak. Para que vean, we don't just go into one team stuff. We put everybody's laundry out there. But we're going to talk about what is coming up. We have an interview lined up with a Wave player coming up later this week. So that'll be very, very interesting, very fun, it'll be interesting. It's the first one that we've really done like that for San Diego Wave. But we are going to have Alan Underwood joining us in a bit. All right. So,
what a weekend.
Long weekend. I'm not ready for the season. I can tell you that. I was so tired after that. I had soccer.
I was going to tell you, we need to get ready on what we're going to be doing with cameras and all that stuff. ¿Estoy bien de volumen o estoy muy altito?
I don't know.
You tell me.
You tell me.
Oh,
sure,
okay, cool.
I don't care. Just keep talking.
I can't care. Damn. All right. the boy's a little upset right now. What's wrong? What's wrong?
Keep going.
¿Qué tienes?
Just talk. Your talk. You were on your roll. Let's go.
¿Qué tienes?
Ándale, let's
¿Estás
go.
bien?
Let's go.
¿Qué tienes?
Let's go.
¿Qué tienes?
I'm gonna cut this live and just restart.
No, you can't do that. Anyways, we have to see what we got to do equipment wise, microphone wise, content wise.
Oh, you okay?
Oh.
Now it's
okay.
okay.
Now it's how it is.
Now it's okay. Now it's okay.
You forgot to press that. But what a weekend. We had Soccer's 2 commentary on Saturday, and then after that we went to the kit release party, kit reveal party.
Okay, so you're skipping. You're already on Sunday.
That's Saturday.
Vato, I don't even know what day it was. Just it was a long weekend. Obviously the kits were set to be relaunched, rekitted, something. The language overall was a little confundo for a lot of people. There were some emails that were saying that each kit was going to be revealed on a offset time, 3, 4, 5. There was an email somewhere on some sort of some Discord that showed that they would all be released at 3 at the same time, and
was it that Ricardo said it was the Chula Vista one, like the picture, and he said at 3 p.m., right? And that's kind of what freaked everyone out.
That was another thing. Yeah, I mean, either way, the official word was that, look, if you read the instructions, it's going to be 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, that's kind of what we had planned. We went out of our way, clocked out, made sure we went in early to clock out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had you posted at the Chula Vista one because I would be up north and I was over at Hillcrest. And so that one was going to be Colin Martin's.
And I told you it was going to be the home kit too.
Yeah, but I heard on with Darren, because I mean, I was scared. Got to support the fellow, up and comers. With Darren and Jordan, Darren was like, "Oh, you should be able to guess who the home kit is going to be," and I'm like, "Okay, well, Guido, Duran, goalkeeper, and Colin. So the home dude is Guido, so he's going to get the home kit." And either way, it ended up working out as it did. So, we were there, and time was kind of not on people's side, and I know this, and I'm a person who's incredibly just, if you're not, we have to be here at this time. This is an important event.
Yes, you are.
There was people pressing online, hey, what does the kit looks like? Hey, it's 3. Hey, it's 301, 302, 303, 304, 305, 306, 307, 308. we're kind of given the instructions of like, hey, don't post anything. To, by the way, before we continue, is to myself, we were told, hey, don't post anything, please, until the club releases it officially. Yeah. Instructions clear. Good job. Appreciate that. Thank you. But the other hero, because there was a lot of unsung heroes here, and something we'll get into a little bit later too with the second part of it, which is the release party. Mm-hmm. One of the people that made it up and down all of San Diego County is Johnny from Everything San Diego. Everything San Diego is a Instagram page, a website from morro, like straight up morro. And this,
props to you, man.
He hustles.
Everywhere. Yes,
he came all the way from Poway, was there with me at the Hillcrest reveal, and I had you posted over there because I'm like, the gas this time. Which, by the way, that just tells me that there was an incredible oversight in planning. I don't know who, what went into that thinking. Going southbound on a Friday
from 3 to 4
Hillcrest
p.m.
Then you got to get through downtown 163,
yeah.
whatever it is that you decide to do.
Traffic.
But 805 or 5, anywhere south is terrible on any given day around that time. On a Friday, you have half of Tijuana that's working and keeping this great old city afloat on a daily basis. And on the weekends, families like to reunite and go, give the money to, the village.
Village. But it's true, though. It is true. Friday, southbound, from anywhere from 3 to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Traffic the whole way
So
through.
that was just going to be difficult from the get-go because I asked some of the, the loyal people, like, hey, dude, are you going to be at the 4 p.m. one? Because I'm like, there's no way I'm making it. I don't want to be speeding. Yeah. I don't want to, do anything. Like, yeah, we're going to be there too. Cool. And so props to everybody who from the club and around the club that made this happen. The Saturday event as well. I'm just going off the positives. Like I'm starting positively. I'm looking at the silver linings and some positives, because there were positives. Again, a lot of hardworking people that made things happen that were dragged across. I know. Shout out to Ray and Ben, who were taking pictures, opening up the FBI briefcase with the laptops and uploading the stick. And so I was like on the phone with you. I'm like, I see him uploading it. I see him post. He's sending something, so don't send it. Be ready to click send as soon as you can.
I think we turned on their notifications.
We turned on the notifications. Promptly turned them off after Saturday.
Oh, for sure.
Not
gonna leave
too
them
much.
Yeah.
But ultimately, we had the first reveal, which was it's right here.
Kailen
Martin. In this mural, and we'll definitely get into some of the comments that are coming on in, because I know people have a lot of thoughts. They have a lot of
let's start with
expectations, explanations. I don't even know.
Let's start with, I think they chose 3 very good players to have the street art or murals, right? Kailen Martin has been crucial to what San Diego Loyal stands for, and he's been a key part of the lineup since day one. You have Alejandro Guido, who's your first pretty much like grown talent, and he's from Chula Vista, well, quote unquote Chula Vista, private school, but you have him in Chula Vista on 3rd Avenue, and it's cool. And then you have Duran Ferry, who's homegrown, Coronado. You have him at the shop, cool for the goalkeeper kid. Wouldn't really have made sense if they put Koke on there. Yeah. So 3 important players, great. So you want to talk about the art first or the kit first?
So, all right, let's go with this disclaimer, right? Because the reaction of this as it was unveiled,
you were there, yeah. How was it?
It was as we think it was, and they were like audible.
Oh man!
Hey,
yes.
Wow. And very stoic. The artists were there who worked on it, and we have an official statement, because guess what, Chiva?
What?
I mean, I don't know if you got a phone call. I don't know if they don't have your phone number.
You got another phone call?
50% of Two Balls and a Mic. You are literally the other half.
People at San Diego Loyal, you guys have my phone number too, and if you don't, ask him for it. I'm part of this too.
Ask him for it. Like you see him just as much.
Include me in those phone calls, please. I would greatly appreciate it.
So I did get another phone call
from the club again. Wow.
The club has reached out.
Interesante.
And honestly, it happened at an interesting time because it was literally 2 minutes after Two Balls and a Mic retweeted a article, because there's been a couple of articles.
We're gonna have to shut down our Twitter, man. We keep getting phone calls because of Twitter. They can't handle the truth, man.
We're not gonna take it. I say no, we ain't gonna take it.
What a thumbnail. Which one?
So the Outsports one, and this one is the one that starts. Mural of gay pro soccer player, a miss, but that's okay. So if you actually take time to read it, it's not flattering. It's talking a lot about the art. And so a lot of people felt that same way. Yeah. I don't know, again, if there's people here who have their thoughts on the kid itself.
And your initial reaction is, wow, they fucked up.
Yes. And many will still think that, and many will see that.
That's the beauty of art, right? It's up for interpretation.
Look, man, I was hanging out with I was Travis Peterson's wife for the kid launch party. I mean, it was pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie, she's a lucky woman. But I was going back and forth with her, and I'm like, hey, you're an artist. I passed the art history test with flying colors. AP art history test with. I mean, we can discuss this. Like, we can go into it, and a lot of people were very, they were not very happy with Colin.
Yeah,
I'll just say it like that.
Yes,
people were not happy with Colin. I don't know if that had to do with, the polls that we had. So on Instagram, HomeKit thoughts, love it, whack, 53% eventually after 24 hours.
This is about the kid, not even the mural.
Whack. This is about
the kid.
It could have been interpreted this way. I do have, like I said, official word from the club, and this is to be interpreted as the individual might have it. I have the Beholder,
one of
Metallica's most underrated songs on And Justice for All. Let me find it. Essentially, it was to bring context to this art, right? It was to bring context to exactly the process and how it kind of went down. So it was kind of said that this is more street art than a mural. So the club admitted that maybe the language could have been changed a little bit, kind of like the release reveal thing with the kit. But that it was supposed to be kind of like a Banksy type of like a street art. Like, it's not necessarily have to be 100 for 100, photorealistic.
Okay. So it just kind of marketed in the wrong way.
Everything was stenciled in and was relatively new style and technique for the artist doing this murals. And I even heard them say it. Something about the complexity of doing that. No sé el vato, La morra was the one that was saying that.
Interesting.
The club is happy with it because they knew that it would be a little bit more abstract.
Oh, it's abstract.
If that's
all right, I guess.
Like, look, it's fine. I had my girl was like, no, like it's not. It's supposed to be like, is it like you can put yourself in there? Like, it can be almost anybody. Like, it's a generic face. Where I'm like, I don't know, like. This is the official context of this.
Why put number 17?
It's supposed to be a little bit of a grayscale, which, again, if you look at Bansky's type of art, okay, I understand that. Not meant to be photorealistic, and the timeline was relatively short for a turnaround.
That gets to me, though. Why is the timeline short? You have all this time to prepare on how you're going to release your kids. Mm-hmm. Why would the club state the timeline was short?
Because they had 3 different locations.
But you're not planning accordingly?
From what I know is that the artist had to go like the night before, because obviously if you paint it,
People are gonna take it
there's a
down.
chance that it gets taken down, gets leaked. People send pictures to us, and now we're the bad guys, and rumors.
True.
If I don't go for the gap, I'm not a racing driver.
But if it's gonna be this complex and maybe it's not gonna get the crowd reaction that you want, why not try something different, right? But I get it. You don't want to stay the same. Like the last two the previous release parties were pretty fun. When you actually like drop the curtain and you see the players, like that's pretty cool. So I like that.
I mean, thinking of it collectively with what ended up happening the next day at the Adams Avenue Theater, it's just very unfortunate that in our thumbnail, like, I don't know if nobody did their research on this, but it used to be a discount fabric store. Like, that's legit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the context of, like, uniforms and this, like, oh, let's go get our kits at the discount fabric store.
Oh, my gosh.
Hey, that's what it was. If you look deeply, you can see column and
yeah, I see that.
You see Kailen Sheridan. You see the home opener trailer.
Very the details. Very good job. Wow, the boy.
But all right, so let's talk about the kits themselves.
Did you like the home kit?
Did I like the home kit? No.
What didn't you like about it?
I think it's two kits in one. Like, I'm very classic with a lot of soccer things, and so what's wrong with just mirroring a home and away kit? The away kit is better, 100%. Just imagine a mirrored, a negative. I don't know. See, photography wasn't my forte, but I need to find myself, Tony. I didn't really vibe with it for somebody who's like, hey, we need to not focus on Wrexham. They're this, they're that. They're just a TV. Well, you certainly nailed a parody of Richmond AFC's stripe. No te digo parodia, pero
wow,
you know, like,
that's a good reference. Actually,
it's fine. Hey, season 3 is coming, I guess.
Season 3 is starting up.
I
don't know, man.
Did you like it?
I love the kits, man. They're amazing. Like, what's not to love? It's horizontal lines with a vertical orange line that, if you're a little chubby, it's gonna cuddle up with your man boob very nicely, and it's not gonna look that pretty. And I had someone tell me that at the event. He said, "Man, I just don't like that stripe because my man boob is gonna, like, it's gonna pop a little bit."
Yeah, that's why we can't wear, like, fanny packs this way or messenger bags or seat belts.
Yeah, seat belts.
Bosoms.
So I didn't like the home kit.
Like, what I'm saying, like, mirror it. Like, you could have still had the stripes. You could have still had that, and then you don't have this as the one bar. Just like you have multiple of these in the orange one,
yeah,
you have this in that same type of design, and it's literally just a mirror image of the other one. You put the cities on here, and then for your third kit, go fucking crazy. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Go nuts. And that's just my preference. I know with Charlie, you can't get regular. You can't get normal. Cholos is playing with a skull of a dog or la calavera. I don't even know what they have at this point.
But it's unique. They're still very different
100%.
from any other USL kits. I'll give them that just because they're Charlie. I don't know how that's going to work out if they go MLS. They have to go back to Adidas eventually. But I didn't like the home kit. I
like Adidas's feel better on my body.
This is true, actually. That is very true. Now, if you're talking the away kit, I like the Chula Vista event. I think Guido's street art was a little better than the one for Colin. The away kit, though, orange, cool. It's not really the same orange as the first away kit from the first season. But it has the horizontal lines. It has the details of the cities. They do repeat a lot of cities, though.
But they have, what was it?
Like North Park twice.
Who's not on there? I know Golden Hill's not on there. There's some people that weren't represented at all. And, like, yeah, Hamul. Like, look, there's people in Hamul. 100%.
I think they have San Marcos on there.
East County people. Like,
is San Marcos San Diego?
Look, North County is San Diego, apparently. Shout out to Presidente Steve, who asked me the other day, hey, thank you for giving props to North County. I'm like, yeah, don't get used to it.
San Marcos, San Diego, though?
Sure.
Wow.
San Diego County.
I guess.
San Diego County. So, I mean, obviously you have Guido here just looking marvelous on 3rd Avenue.
He liked the shorts. I was there. He actually liked his mural. He seemed very pleased with it. He loved the short details. Very emotional day for him as he received some news regarding his mother's cancer. That it was in remission. So he's very.
Get this, right?
Yeah.
How do you? We interviewed him and we'll play it right here just because we'll quickly translate. Is if you'd like, Chiva.
Oh, of course.
But where was it? 2 balls. That we were the only Spanish coverage of these events. Not a single other Spanish language outlet or anything gave a hoot or didn't want to come out or didn't want to send anybody.
True. Very true. That's why I wanted to ask in Spanish.
And you did ask in Spanish, so that's what I'm trying to find. Here we go. Alejandro Guido. And yeah.
En español, ¿qué tal te pareció la playera y el mural aquí en tu ciudad?
Me encantó.
So what did you think about the jersey and this mural here in your city?
Muy buen diseño.
I
Me
love the
encantó,
design.
mira, el detalle de que
The
tener las
detail, the
diferentes,
having the different cities,
condados
the
y,
counties
por
said, but,
supuesto, Chula Vista aquí en el centro.
and of course Chula Vista right in the center. This is spectacular.
La verdad que lo que hicieron los artistas fue increíble.
What the artist just did was
Los
incredible.
pudieron incorporarlo.
Little short shorts were able to be incorporated,
Poder representar a una
and I'm really proud to be able to represent
Y un
this
poco
community.
emocional, ¿no? Todo esto para ti.
Look a little bit emotional.
Estaba llorando ahorita.
No, yeah, I was crying totally.
Con la buena
With the
noticia de
good
que
news
el
that
cáncer de mi mamá está en
cancer in my
remisión.
mom is now in remission.
Todavía más.
I couldn't ask for more.
En español.
So
Alejandro Guido.
that's your guy, and that's kind of something that I wanted to talk to Alan too. Like, who's the face of San Diego Loyal? Like, who is the face of this team?
You ask any random person in the U.S. and they're gonna say Landon Donovan.
I could see that. By the way, welcome to everybody who's coming on in.
That's the face of San Diego Loyal still, if you ask anyone. But if you ask people that are very much involved with the team, with the city, with the community of soccer, the face of San Diego Loyal has to be, I want to say Alejandro Guido.
Yeah, and again, that like we wanted to go ahead and give. I mean, I'm happy that
Maybe Joe Corona, depends on how the season goes, but
yeah.
Guido's been there since midway through the first season.
We'll ask Alan here when he comes in, but
But I'll hop on in 5
good
minutes.
to see.
He's in the chat as well.
He's already in he's in the chat.
Yes.
Awesome. We'll check in with him. I mean, but going back to again this message, this context provided by the club, I really do appreciate the club reaching out and trying to give their version of it. Because again,
Clear the waters a little bit.
sure, and you know, if that's how they feel about it, then all power to them. And I just want to go ahead and once again acknowledge that there's a lot of hardworking people in there. So we had great conversations with some people over the weekend, and I think everybody's just ready. The event yesterday, I don't know how you felt. Saturday, I don't know how you felt about that
It was
release
different.
event.
It's very
Honestly,
different.
it's not like I me encanté. Like people around me were just
San Diego Loyal, can we get some new Mexican food?
the sliders were all right. I'll give you that.
But like
The sliders were all
Belinda's a USD, like I'm not a big fan. A lot of people are. I'm just not. I think a lot of different vendors out there.
And this was cool, right? Like we kind of left a little bit earlier, and I'm glad we did because again, no quiero estar de estorbos. We don't want to be like
Okay, for me to
crying.
be able to get in without having a season,
You helped the locals.
I helped, and I had my credential as well in handy, and I wore it proudly. I did leave early as well, just because I felt like it's more of a fan thing to enjoy.
Yeah.
The conversation with the players, and it's not really the appropriate time to start trying to network and say, hey, we love to have you on the pod soon, and this and that. I felt like this is more for the fans, right? To get that vibe with the players and just have a good time. So that's one of the reasons I left early.
I got too hot. It got too hot for me in there, and I had to get out. I had to bust a move, and I don't know. Like it was. I see the purpose. I see the vision. I see it.
I do like Corralejo as a sponsor.
That's pretty cool.
I like that. I mean, I know some people weren't happy, especially high schoolers who would get dress coded with it. But you know what? Don't wear it at the high school. Just wear it at the game days. But I mean, I don't like the Blue Peak sponsor in the front.
You don't?
So I think what really bothered me about the kits is the goalkeeper kits are usually different with the different logo, and that's what made I felt
that was really
Loyal
special.
very unique.
That was really
it's
special.
one of the only teams in the world that the goalkeeper kit has a different sponsor in the front. Same sponsor, different logo, right? This time it's the same.
Coque just looked like he got castigado. Like he was
Some
caught
people liked
stealing.
it. Some people liked it. I didn't. I think it's basic.
If I had to choose, if you tell me I had to choose jerseys, this goalkeeper one in person looks better than any pictures. It does look much better in person.
Yeah,
that's
I still think it's a very basic design. I mean, I get it's a goalkeeper kit, but people really look
but
forward.
but boy, it has as that article said, it has the it has the smoke that billows from the back, from 109, from the supporter section.
Are they even allowed to have smoke bombs at Toro?
No. It's just.
So why are you highlighting that?
It's
shit?
It's just Thomas and the Smoke Bros. They work hard, but
yeah, like that's whack. Let them have real smoke bombs.
and then you start celebrating.
Carl popped 2 smoke bombs on 3rd Avenue.
Shout out Carl who hooked it up with some
Misfits.
jarritos and stuff.
Yeah, so he
Dope.
popped.
You want some jarritos?
Oh, I'm down.
I was supposed to give them to Travis, and Travis was like, "Oh no, I'm okay.
Oh,
I'll still give it to him later."
I'll take some.
2 balls and the mic is about to drink Travis Peterson's drinks. We shout out Travis who came out with another sticker charge for the locals membership. Get your locals,
get your Legos
stuff. Chavos also have one. Stay tuned for Chelas con Chavos coming up later on this week. That'll be fun. But yeah, so I mean,
people liked based on the Instagram post. People liked it.
I mean, let's look at that, right? Let's. We saw one. The goalkeeper kits.
Cool. Nothing like before. 74% liked it.
See, this is you were kind of being nice because you made this one like cool, nothing like before. Like
it's Durant, 6 Morro, you know. Hell yeah. That's because I kind of like this one, so I was like, maybe people don't kind of like it. Hell yeah, cool. And then for Colin, I just put love it, whack. Because I thought it was whack. I voted whack on it.
You voted on your own poll.
On all 3. All 3.
Good on you. But yeah, so we'll kind of get Alan's perspective. And again, we're going to talk about actual soccer because the season's starting to roll. And this is what I kept telling people, yes.
That's what people are asking in the chat if we were at Saturday's game. And that's what Alan was there. He's going to tell us about the game from Saturday. We weren't able to do because we had commentary for the Soccers too. But yeah, Alan's going to be joining us to talk about that match since he was there.
Donning a very similar to Evan Conway hairdo and hairstyle. Look at you, Alan.
The boy got that buzz cut.
Season's greetings.
Yeah. After I sliced open my fingers on a package on Saturday at the kit release, sorry, not reveal. Yes. I decided I saw Evan Conway at the party and I was like, I want to look as young and vibrant as him. So I took the buzz to the, I was kind of listening in. Not a fan of the home kit. I like the away kit. I think the keeper kit, what really speaks, like what I really like about that one is that one's like you can wear outside of like a game day. It doesn't look like a kit at first until you like really realize what it is, right? Especially from the back, if you don't put any numbers on it. It looks like a pretty nice like tie-dye-ish black and green kit. It looks like you can wear it out. And that's when you can wear it at the high school because it doesn't have the tequila ad on the back. And so like high school kids, you'll get on that one.
Yeah, would that have to do with Duran, the fact that he can't be promoting alcohol?
I mean, all of the keeper kits haven't, like even the old ones didn't have the Stone Brewing on the back.
Yeah, front too.
Which is weird. Like you would think like they face the one direction the whole game, right? Like
yes,
it's a billboard to whoever's behind you. But Now, I mean, I think with the bar being set so high last year on kits, like you were eventually going to get one that was not as good, right? Like they can't. I want to say they can't all be bangers. Like they could,
They
but
very
the
well could,
likelihood of one being disappointing is like
High.
I don't know.
Very
Yeah.
high. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I feel like again the home one is just two home kits smushed together. Like it had two very good ideas. Oh, we'll have this, we'll have that, and just kind of
I
ram
will.
together. Yes.
I always say this when kits come out. Like I will reserve judgment to see how it looks on the pitch because there are some kits that look amazing up close and they get on the pitch and it's like I'm not sure. And then there are some kits that you're like I'm not sure, and then they get on the pitch. You're like, all right, I can see it.
Yeah.
I think the orange ones are going to look great on the pitch. I think those ones are going to be the best of the normal kits. So let's see what happens with the third kit. I know keeper kits come out in multicolors, so I'm looking forward to seeing those variations. The kit release thing was all right. That used to be a theater, and then it was a fabric store.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I would hope that they wouldn't.
This chair right here.
Oh,
this fabric. I know I have the background blurred. Fabric purchased from said fabric store.
Oh wow.
We redid the chairs. They look terrible. They were like a donation from when I first started teaching, and so
did you get them at a discount though?
Yeah, and the padding. It was actually they were quite helpful. And I was
fabric
like,
discount.
I don't know how you're in business. You have a giant warehouse full of just fabric. But apparently
local
they
business
did.
going down the drain once again.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. I mean, the jerseys are cool. Let's see how they look on the field, but more importantly, on the field, I care about how the team performs. And Alan, you were there on their last preseason match. Can you tell us a little bit about what you saw, what you like, what you didn't like?
Yeah, it was a modified lineup, so it was kind of hard to tell like where the team is, right? Like Charlie Adams didn't play, Colin Martin didn't play, 𝔼ℙ𝕀𝕊𝕆𝕻 didn't play, Stoney didn't play. But there were a lot of like Nick Moon looking healthy, looked really nice. Camden Riley, I think, took a big step forward. He looked very comfortable on the ball at times in more of like a defensive midfield role.
Yeah.
In that match. Although talking to him at the release, he's ready to play kind of anywhere the team needs him, and I'm excited to see that development. Conway looked really nice up top of the 9, had a nice ball through to him, and he was the guy who drew the penalty. Joe Corona took the penalty, and it was a nice powerful curler into one of the corners. I'm not going to spoil which one because maybe he'll keep going back to that same one. But it was nice to see the team get a PK and then convert a PK, right? We're making progress on those.
Yes.
Yeah, there were some Chavos there. I know a lot of those guys were getting ready for the Soccers, right? It was a big match for the Soccers. And so a lot of them, I think, were getting ready to drum for that Soccers match and pregame for that. So I'm not faulting them for not being there. I know it was not widely not popularized. That's not the right word. Publicized.
Yes.
There was a decent turnout. I thought the guys played really well. The system looked pretty similar to what we've seen before.
Yeah, and we've seen. I mean, some of us have seen Loyal through this preseason, right? We know that Coach Nate Miller is incredibly busy right now, so we try to reach out and see if we can get him. But we'll try to get some sound right before the opening season. Shit, he might not even talk to us. Knowing how tight-lipped he is, like he's probably like, no,
He'll take the fine.
This and this and this. I'm not talking to you guys until I have to, and that's going to be after the match on March 11th.
That's true.
But in any case, this team has looked, again, like you said, very similar to the past. They have some new toys, and hopefully those are upgrades. Still, rumors that there is somebody coming in for Among. We don't know officially, but as it stands, how are you feeling about this Loyal team right now? And what is your ideal kind of, I don't even want to say formation, just like the key players that you want there all at once that sum up to 11?
Yeah, I think that's the difficult point, right? Like you have you almost have an extra starter for every one of the positions, right? You have essentially kind of, let's say, 3 attacking positions, right? You have kind of like a 10 and 2 strikers. You have your kind of 3 midfielder kind of guys. I would consider them kind of 3 midfielders. Maybe 4 if you're, I mean, you have 2 and then 4 if you want to think about it that way, but it's like you have 2, you have 3 guys up top, right? If you have in the midfield 4, you kind of have 5 guys. 5 guys. And then for the back 4, essentially, you almost have another 5 guys that can fit in and play any of those roles. And then your keeper position, you have Koke Vega, who I think is hopefully going to take a step forward with some of the shot stopping abilities. But waiting in the wings, you have this kid who's performed at a pretty high level. So I think every position you're looking at, you have enough depth that you have a starter that can sub in, right? We saw it on Saturday where it was Jackson, Akon, and Kyle Adams, and then Elijah Martin subbed in for Moon, right? As the guy who is kind of bombing up the sides. And, I think Nick Moon is looking healthy and great. So you want to have him on the pitch, right? So if you sub out, let's say Jackson for Stoneman. So those are kind of your starting 3, right? You have Stoney, Akon, and Kyle Adams. You put, Nick Moon on one side, you put Elijah Martin on the other. You allow both of them to bomb up the wings. And now you have 5 guys left. And 2 of those guys are going to be Charlie Adams and Colin Martin. You want Guido on the pitch. And then you have Conway at the 9. Now you're looking at, okay, maybe Tumi Moshabani is your next guy. But then where does Joe Corona come in, who looked also very good? You have the guy who's probably waiting in the wings to come in from overseas. You have a really big, tall striker as well that you can sub in as a target guy. Jackson off the bench. And so I don't envy Nate. I can't name a preferred 11 out of this bunch because you're inevitably going to leave 1 or 2 guys out. You're like, oh, I forgot about that guy.
Yeah. And I mean, he has an easier task in some ways because obviously you still have some suspensions. Thomas Amon doesn't have to serve a suspension because he's no longer the team. He's actually in the team up top, which is interesting. That's going to be very, very, I don't know. There's setups for games to bite Loyal to get bit in the ass a couple times. I think every single one of those is going to score. It's just how it's going to happen. Vegas is going to come down. I can see Andrew Carlson scoring.
He who shall not be named.
We're going to play against Indy 11. We, as in the San Diegans. I can see Jack Blake scoring.
A banger? Free kick?
Thomas Among? I can see a brace or 2. Just
2 braces?
Yeah, or a hat trick.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
we saw 3 this weekend.
You know what? I should have told you not to come on the show today. How dare you? How freaking dare you?
Speaking of,
what are you talking? What are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 7-0. Wow.
Oh, that's what he thought I was. Oh, sorry. I just meant I saw 3 people with
I will
braces
walk
this
away
weekend.
of this show right now if we mention that game again.
It's fine. It's like nobody from the team contacts you.
Yeah, because Guido's suspended for the first game, right? So you're going to see Joe Corona probably in that role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is anyone else suspended? Stoneman suspended? Is it Stoneman?
I believe so. Yeah.
Someone else?
It was Thomas Among.
Oh. Okay. Can he play the first game with Orange County?
No, but that doesn't matter to Loyal just because we're not playing
Orange
County.
I think key players for sure. Nick Moon, you have to start him. I hope it's not at a wingback position. I really hope it's just an attacking role. He doesn't really have to. I mean, you're going to have to track back eventually, but that it's not like your main role to track back and defend as well. So I do think one of the players being left out of the starting lineup and will most likely be left out is going to be Toomey. I think Conway overtakes it, the starting spot up on top. I think you can't bench Guido. You can't. I feel like Toomey's going to be one of the players left out. And unless he starts performing very well and he starts scoring, he has one of those seasons like he did before.
Mm-hmm.
But like Alan said, it's going to be hard for Nate to come up with lineups, and especially with a lot of games in the season, it's going to be good to have rotations, and you're going to need that eventually. Players are going to hurt eventually. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen soon, but injuries happen all the time. So you kind of have to adapt to those situations as well.
Yeah, there's like 3,000 games. You have an Open Cup that you're hopefully going to get a semi decent run in this season. 2-3 games. You're looking at pushing 40, and so I mean, if you have like a mid-season friendly in there, maybe, which I don't know if they have even the space to do that, but you get a 3-4 games in the Open Cup, you're pushing almost 40 matches. You're going to need to rotate guys. And I think that was one of the knocks on the team last year, right? You just didn't quite have the depth that you needed, right? You had the first year was thin, then they added depth, and then they went for slightly thinner with more talent. And now I think they're trying to do that with more depth. So it's like these building blocks to make a better team. I think, if Ronaldo Damas shows up, I think that if he shows up, as if that those are the rumors, right?
Rumors.
That's another one that's going to be like who's going to sit out, and I think for sure that pushes Moshe Bani out as a for sure starter, right? That pushes Nick Moon into kind of a wing back-ish. But if you have Elijah Martin on the other side, right, those are guys who can rotate and push up and drop back. I think this is what made Oakland play so well against San Diego is you left yourself open on the wings to get counter attacks by having two guys go up top high. And so is Stoneman and Adams and Akon going to be able to hold it down the way the back line really didn't last year? And that's the biggest question mark, right? San Diego scored a lot of goals, but they let in a lot of goals. And in a playoff match against a team that doesn't let in a lot of goals, you run into a team like San Antonio again, where it's going to be really hard to beat them if you don't have a stout defense.
Ah, man. It's that back line. I wish they would have.
Oh, what's that? Oh, no. No, that was.
Oh, what was that? Oh, what is that?
Whoa. Oh,
hey.
Yikes. Positives
Rumors.
that can potential happening to your team.
Rumores.
You weren't so.
That's a great point. Like, I told that to Ricardo when we had him on the podcast. Please add someone on that back line. And he kind of stood his ground and said,
"Don't forget,
we're good. We're good on the back line." I said, "Well, you have a lot of shit on the goals, so just trying to prevent that again." But we'll see how that goes. We're gonna play Detroit, first game of the season.
Detroit, another playoff team, right? I mean, they came up from Nisa. The last time I remember Detroit, where they were playing against 1904 FC.
Who?
Excuse me, Albion.
Who?
Are you a fan of Albion, Ellen?
Albion, like the Premier League,
Brighton,
Brighton,
San Diego, Albion.
I don't know how they don't win the league every season. There's two cities, like you have to play Brighton and Hove Albion. There's like 22 guys on the pitch. It's crazy.
So dumb. But Detroit City coming into town. Do you have any sort of I mean, I know you have the tentacles out in the USL verse. What are you hearing from Detroit?
Yeah, so Detroit City had a couple of guys last year that were really, really key players. One of them was Steinwasser, who's their goalkeeper, who was essentially their MVP, right? Detroit City, their goalkeeper kept them in a lot of tight games. They didn't score a ton of goals. But they were pretty competent, and their back line and goalkeeper were phenomenal. We're going to luckily avoid Devin Amu-Mensah's return. He'll come back in mid-April, sometime around there. Phenomenal defender as well, but he won't be back yet. There are definitely some question marks with this team, right? Declan Wynn and Antoine Hopino were two big names last year for Detroit City. And those holes are going to be hard to fill. And so it's going to be slightly unpredictable about where they're getting their goals from. But what they do is they defend pretty well and organized, and then they spring counterattacks, right? So they might have the ability to do to San Diego what Oakland has done, right? Where they're defense first, and then they direct down the flanks, right? We've heard that from Oakland, right? They like to attack the wings. We saw a couple goals last year where it went from one wing to another and really exposed the 3-man back line, where they just had that space on the sides. And so it'll be interesting. This will be a really good first matchup for San Diego Loyal just to show how well their defensive unit has been ironed out from last season. They're not offensively crazy phenomenal, but they can keep teams to clean sheets or one goal, and that's gonna really, I think, might frustrate San Diego. And we've seen what happens when you frustrate San Diego. Sometimes they can get in their heads. Now, some of those players may no longer be on the team.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the mental shape of the team is when they go up against a defensive team like Detroit. But, Detroit City has a lot to prove, right? A lot of people are picking them as no longer a playoff team. So I think they're going to come in hungry against a team that they see as a statement win, right? You go on the road on the opening day of the season, go on the road and get a win against a team that everyone thinks is going to finish in the top of the West. Detroit City is going to want to do that. And so you just saw Hopino putting the ball into the box. And so they're going to lose some guys that can do that for them. But I have to say it's better that we're playing them home as opposed to away, because Keyworth is a bear of a place to play. It's quaint, it's loud. The environment is dark and smoky, as Michigan Stars claimed last year.
And most of the Midwest, after a couple of trail derailments, is kind of smoky. Sorry. Sensitive.
Wow. Yeah, I think this is a really good matchup out of the gate for San Diego. It's a team that they probably can beat if they play them 10 times, or they're beating them more often than not. But they play that defense first, attack down the wings that Oakland liked to exploit last year. Oh, and their goalkeeper can steal a game.
And it's hard to predict something that when you haven't really seen the team, especially in the first game. But the San Diego Loyal win this Saturday on their home opener? It's up for anyone to answer.
They haven't been particularly good in home openers, from what I remember.
Relax, man.
Let's see.
Relax. Have some faith.
1-1.
Damn it.
The legend of Jake Fenlinson
Who?
began and ended on that home opener.
Year two,
Year
they
two?
started 0-4 away, and then home opener, did they win?
They haven't won a home opener, have they, Alan?
I think they did. Was it last season their home opener against Los Dos? No?
I thought they...
Oh, no.
I thought they went on the road twice.
You're putting me on
on blast right now, man.
We can find this out right meow. Let's go.
Anybody know?
I just saw
This is great podcasting right here. Just
Absolutely.
silence. as
Absolutely.
everyone types
No,
in.
it's this.
Find it
This
right
is
now.
the best.
Here you go. May 7, 2020, tied to Las Vegas 1-1. That was the first year. Let's go to 2021. February, April, no, May, April, March.
Did they win this one 2-1 with the red card to Galaxy? 2?
I thought they won the first one last year, but they all blend together these days.
I don't know.
They all blend together.
Yeah, see, against the Galaxy 2. Yeah, no, 100%. Thank you, Midori Kazumi. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah, because I think they went on a pretty good tear at the beginning of last year at home.
Phoenix.
Yes, I mean, we got our credentials. Manny's wondering in the comments right now. Yes, we made it there. I mean, Detroit, they have a famous fan. Alexis Lalas is a huge Detroit City FC fan. So I don't know if we'll see Alexis Lalas at Torero, perhaps. Give him a piece of our.
Have him on the pod. I would hate to have him on the pod. Actually, I'm not a fan of Alexis Lalas.
You wouldn't have him on.
No,
I would have him on.
No
but
comment.
You know what? Loyal win this Saturday, and you know nos van a caer los hocico a todos. They're gonna win 3-0.
Oh, a 3-0 shutout.
Shutout.
That's a lot of offense.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
That's
That's
a
what
lot
I'm
of
going
offense.
with. I have high expectations this season.
That's
You
a
were
lot
the
of offense.
highest, one of the highest, if not the highest scoring team last season. You have to start out with the bang, scoring 3. Defensively wise, you're saying you're better than ever, so I expect a freaking clean sheet as well. I'm saying 3-0 San Diego Loyal. Damn it.
Because you're believing what you're being fed. Like you are you're a sheep right now. Like you're getting sent to slaughter.
Chiba. Yeah, they win 3-0. And when I'm right and you guys are wrong, you're gonna be like, "Wow, Chiba Damas is back this season."
You have been getting lucky here and there.
So what do you think they're gonna lose? Tie? You're gonna go with the basic ass 1-1?
No.
So what's your result? What's your prediction then? Damn it, tell me.
Gosh, I don't think they keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
I do not think they keep a clean sheet. They'll let one in. If anything, watch. They'll probably let one in first, knowing how Loyal like to sometimes keep to their game, keep to their play
First half,
style,
first 20 minutes.
counterattack. Oh, everybody has the energy of and then everybody's gonna be rocking. Oh my God! Then you have 60 minutes of nothing, and then Loyal gonna tie it up. 75th minute, and then you're gonna have some who scores. Stoneman, sure, off a set piece.
What? Okay.
Look,
There was a couple of really nice shouts on set pieces on Saturday, like not going in, but Adams had a pretty good look a couple times. So I mean,
Why
I don't doubt that there could be a set piece.
Joe Corona scores.
You think Joe Corona scores
Joe Corona
one of those
scores in the
3?
home opener on those 3. I think Nick Moon gets one.
Okay, I could see that. I like
Joe
most
Corona,
likely to score
Moon,
Nick Moon.
And I'm going to go with Conway getting one as well. It's going to be an offensive game. They're going to score.
I still haven't said what I think. I think it's going to be a 2-1
Win?
It'll be a 2-1 win.
A comeback win.
A comeback win.
Conway scores it on a comeback win?
I
to
like
win
that.
it?
I like that.
Wow.
I like that.
Same old.
Not necessarily same old,
Conway
but like, you know.
with the
This
new
is
number.
his spot. This is his.
It's a lot of pressure to get the number 9 after the season Cavasel had. You don't think so?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of pressure.
I mean, yeah, but I think with the weapons around him, I don't think he feels like he needs to be the lead scorer. He talks a lot about being pretty comfortable and feeling good about playing in his more natural position. And so I think he's going to be allowed to. He's like, although I did have a couple where I like came in from the wings and scored some good ones, but I think having him be the focal point of the offense will allow. I think he's going to have a pretty similar tactical gravitational pull that that Kyle Vassell did. Maybe not as good of a hold-up play as him, but I think once he gets the ball at his feet and he's running at guys, I think he's going to pull the defense toward him. And if he doesn't get the goal, it's going to open up guys like Joe Corona, Nick Moon, these like late runs into the box. I think that's definitely what we're going to see is Conway's going to get some looks, but I think he's also going to be smart and be able to play off the ball to a Guido, to a Toomey, to a Nick Moon, to a Charlie Adams even, right? Like he's been known to put the ball into the back of the net from time to time too. But I'd like to see a Conway goal just to get him off the ground and get one, right? That was the knock on Kyle Vassell at the beginning. When was he going to get his first goal? So I'd like to see a first game goal from him, and maybe a nice little home goal for Joe Corona to get their seasons off on. I'd like to see those two.
You'd like to see that. Like, you know, you like the good story, the happy ending, the Cinderella. I don't even know if it's Cinderella at this point, but
Yeah, I just hope it's a dominant win. Like they kind of put their foot down because I'm excited to talk soccer again and see games happen.
if we knew anything about the preseason or players,
yes, exactly.
or
So I'm
highlights that
looking
we can
forward
break
to it.
down.
Man.
Like, honestly, I wouldn't have given two shits about anything that was done outside. Which, again, to the credit of Loyal, we all always like to give credit where credit is due. They did have a volunteer day today, where a lot of the office and the players were out and about in the community, and they did really good things out for Day of Service. I mean, again,
Cool.
gotta highlight, gotta be fair. It's not just negatives, guys. There's some positives.
God, it's you, Negative Nancy over here.
No, it's not me. It's the club.
Although I did hear some chatter that there were some people who were disappointed by Blue Peak being the sponsor, because they were like, how cool was it to run around with Rocket League and or Stone on your kit?
Those were unique.
But I mean, it's a business, right? They got to make money. If the money's better, then sometimes you got to be like, fine. If they're paying the team and it keeps the team in business, then you got to pay the bills somehow. Also, Tony, what was the name of that artist that they're trying to
Bansky?
Banksy?
Esa madre.
Yeah.
Banksy. What did I say?
I don't know.
Am I saying this wrong? Am I missing something?
Banksy?
Did I keep saying Banksy? Banksy. Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Just helping you out.
Can you learn English, please?
Nah, dude. Look,
Jeez.
Banksy.
It's your accent.
It's all right. Although I have been working on my early babble, because I told Coque Vegas that I will ask him a question by the end of the season. I will do it in Spanish, and he will answer in English, and that's I told him just for him that I'm going to work on some Spanish.
Can we help you write the question so you just have to ask it, or it's all him?
It's all Alan.
Okay.
Donde
I like that.
está la biblioteca?
I'm gonna learn how to ask, like, what is your name? Where are you from?
He comes back to you like with an English accent.
Because Charlie Adams has been helping him.
Calls you mate.
Okay,
What, mate?
You know what? This is one of the first times I'm getting an education. Apparently, bank ski.
We're trying.
Banksy.
Banksy. We did hear some wonderful Kiwi accent on Saturday too, and not from Nick. It was from one of the players yelling at the referee that he got all ball.
Hell yeah.
But it was like spot on Kiwi accent, and we had Nick Duffy do some translation for us.
Interesting. I want to ask you guys one thing real quick. Of the players that the team has right now, who doesn't stay in the team by the end of the season? It happens every season where they end up losing a player, trade, something, and they don't announce it. It's just the player disappears.
You're right. We've had
who doesn't stay this season?
We've
already had one.
Boston. Ooh,
besides Thomas Amang.
No, he popped up somewhere. Like it's still.
Well, like the season starting, who doesn't finish the season with the team? I don't know. I'm asking you.
Like who's controversial? Like who's gonna? I don't know.
Who gets dropped?
Maybe Elliot Collier. Maybe he looks for more playing time. If Damas comes in.
Ooh, Esteban says Toomey.
Toomey, maybe.
Wow.
Although Toomey's like,
he really likes.
I think someone is going to get hurt in that midfield that Toomey's going to step in for. Like that's going to happen this season, right? Like,
wow, what a jinx it, bro.
Corona's not playing 34 games, right? Guido's not playing 33 games because he's suspended for one, right? Like they're not all playing that. I just think like the guys up top.
Yeah, we got a lot of Moon. We got
Moon goes to MLS.
Yeah, I mean that's the one that I've just hide him. Like,
oh yeah.
If there was one thing that Loyal should have hidden this whole off season and preseason, it's Nick Moon. Yeah. Like everybody else, like, go for it. Like, take your pick.
It's like this is Richard Jupiter. He's a trialist. This isn't really Nick Moon. It's Richard Jupiter.
I think Collier could go. I think Perez could just not work out if he doesn't get playing time. He just goes to MASL again. A lot of things could happen.
I did ask him if he was going to go to a soccer's game and root against Ontario, and he just laughed.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's always a player, and it's gonna happen. And we're gonna wonder where this player went. We're gonna ask the questions. We're not gonna get the answers. History repeats itself.
Pitch itself.
Repeats
It
itself.
will pitch itself.
Me lo pegaste
Agree
con tu
that you
pronunciation
repeat
del
itself.
art.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see everybody. Again, this whole off season, it's just like a purge of a lot of the things that happened last season, during the season, that weren't addressed, that weren't talked about, and now things are happening. There's dialogue happening. I know you're a member of the season ticket brigade for San Diego Loyal. You were part of a meeting, and transparency is what transparency is, and for whatever it's worth, the club still has that open door and speaks directly to their season ticket members, some of the fans, some of the supporter groups. But my thing there, and my thing to push on everybody, this is for you, locals, this is for you, Chavos, this is for you, Fiends, this is for you, Rainbow Loyal. Push back. Have that conversation. Like, when given the platform, don't just, thank you, thank you for this time that you have out of your busy day. No, you really have actual thoughts of what you want to have and change, and things that you want to see in the community, some ideas. At some point, the club is going to run out of ideas because people don't know what San Diego is all about. They don't know what San Diego is, so we got to teach them. And so if we're not teaching them, we're not showing them, hey, look at this, look at what we have. And in those conversations, then you're going to get the same old, and then we can't really complain. One thing I was really looking forward to is the Balboa Park kind of imagery happening before the season, right? The schedule release was all Balboa, and I was like, oh, cool, San Diego. There were some cool, artsy pictures around San Diego. That didn't end up going anywhere. But overall, like, it's not knocking anybody's hard work at the club, but the people have to tell the club what they want as well. It's a two-way
Yeah, I think one of the goals for one of the preseason games was supposed to be played at like the stadium in Balboa Park.
Yeah.
But it just didn't happen. I know that they mentioned that they are, if they make it to the second round of Open Cup, that they're going to investigate having them, if they get to host having that game. Now it's like 3,000 seats, and so like it's not the most ideal for making money. But I know that was the intention, right? And the best laid plans and all. And I want to like echo Tony, like, it's something in the union world where we talk about where like season ticket holders are almost like a union, and some people are like, I pay my money, and so people do the work for me. It's like a gym membership, right? You pay the money, but you still need to show up and do the work for it to pay off, right? Like I'm not going to go, I'm going to go LA Fitness, I'm going to pay like $50 a month, and then I'm just expecting like to be in shape, right? Like I gotta go and do the work. And so, we see sometimes on the Twitter machines, people getting mad that people aren't asking the questions when these folks have the same, some of the better platforms to ask these questions and get actual answers to them when they have those season ticket meetings, when they have those Zooms, when you're at the stadium and you run into a Ricardo. And like, that's what I've always found with Ricardo is he'll tell you what he can tell you.
Yeah.
Like you talk to him, he's going to tell you what he can. You talk to NWSL, he's going to tell you what he can. And so like, don't be afraid to engage them. They want to hear from you because you are the people paying your money to go to these things, to keep these things alive. So like, if you have that access, take advantage of it. Like the worst they can say is like, I can't tell you.
And just to kind of, I see Alicia saying like these conversations are happening, baby steps, sure, but this is year 4. Like we've been with this team through the worst of times in the beginning in a pandemic season, and some little behind the scenes, right? Like I heard Ricardo was like, yeah, like this is. We say every year, but this is the first normal year that this club has had, which sure, maybe, but last year I would consider is the most normal year. The length, even year 2 is still kind of wonky the way that started, but ultimately like these conversations have been there. And I think we've reached a critical mass of what we want to see or what we've already said. And if it's not happening, and don't be disillusioned, just bring it up again. Bother them with it. Like that's their job, is to really represent us in San Diego and the city above all. And if they do that on the field, on the pitch, great. But if you say that you're all about it in the community, great. And you've been doing great stuff here and there. Honestly, my favorite thing out of this whole weekend, and I posted it, was I don't know if you saw it, Alan. I went to the Duran one. I stayed after, talked with some fellas from the office, talked with some fellas from the supporters group. Everybody kind of dissipated. It ended up just being like me and somebody else. And then a whole hour and a half later, I see the family just show up to the Duran thing. And kids standing on, I don't even, on each other or something. The dad really admiring this. And this is the part where I'll be critical as much as I can, but this is what you like to see. And to some degree, like, this is what it's all about. I did ask the family, hey, like, it's cool if I use this picture in this instance. And they were like, yeah, 100%. And then just to kind of go off of that is later they sent me this picture, which is the family with Duran. And again, that's all.
Oh, look, and me in the background.
Is that really you?
Yeah, this guy.
This whole thing was a plant.
My bloody hand.
Alan, way to freaking photobomb a beautiful moment, dude.
Like from here to here.
I got to make everything about me.
Of course.
That's what I think this is all about. Like, it was really cool seeing a lot of our soccer family here in San Diego all at once in a nightclub with the lights turned on.
You did miss the great Cesar Hernandez showing up, though.
Cesar H. Football also made an appearance. So,
and I'm not sure when everyone started taking off from the team, but I do have to say that, like, I think I literally saw every player who is in San Diego right now at that event, and mingling with fans, taking photos, signing autographs, like Nate Miller signing autograph. Like, those are the things that I really love about this level and this team, is that, sure, maybe it was like a mandatory thing, but for a lot of the players, it felt like they got something out of going, right? And interacting with the fans and the community in a way that, you don't normally get to do very often in the course of the season. So I do like those moments that you captured, Tony, like that. With all of the criticism launched at the team, there are things that they're doing well, and memories that they're gifting these kids and this community that these kids will take with them forever, right? Like, when Duran eventually makes his way up, like, they're gonna have that moment of, like, when he's 16 and a half or whatever, and and getting that chance to be that close to him and interact with him. And then what that means for the academy kids that are coming up to say, like, I have this opportunity because this is right here. Like, I can be the next Banksy mural without a face.
No, and I did also reach out to some of the fans on Discord, see if we can use some of these. And exactly that, like, this is what it's about. And we'll challenge them where they need to be challenged, and people need to step up when they need to step up. And it's all coming from a place of love. And sometimes we need that tough love. And sometimes, sometimes family members really dislike each other for periods of time. Like, it is what it is. And, we'll do our best, at least on this end, to just kind of make sure that we still respect the arts, respect what we're doing, essentially, because I think at this point, like, we've kind of been elevated from fan media to just media. I hope. If I have to resign from San Diego Loyal fandom, like, I will in an instant. But ultimately, it's one of those things where I'm just really happy that we have an actual game. If at any point things get out of hand, then just make sure to talk to us, talk to them, talk to anybody, but make sure that your voice is heard, because we can't let and I was gonna say this for a little bit, and it's true, just as far as how I feel like we are at this point, right? And I think I told you the other day, like San Diego Loyal, when this started, it was like Tacos El Gordo. Like Tacos El Gordo is the best that you can possibly get here on this side, emulating what is already great on the other side of the border, but trying to have our own brand, and it's good. And then they eventually kind of like, all right, we need to do a little bit more updated stuff, this, and kind of started turning into more of a Taco Bell kind of movement now. It still gets the job done, but it just kind of, it doesn't feel like Tacos El Gordo anymore. Like it really gets to you. San Diego Wave has always been Chipotle. It's just prepackaged. It is what it is. You get what you get.
It's still good.
It's still all right. Like, you can put some effort into it, but it's still going to be what it is.
Let's just hope Loyal doesn't turn into Del
I mean,
Taco.
It is everything Chiva wants, right? Like a team that wins and plays really well, and it doesn't matter what their kit looks like.
100%. Right on the money. But, yeah, right on the money. We are going to talk about Waves kits, though. Because
100%.
Gentlemen, I will be there Saturday. Will you be there Saturday, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, it's the first game. It's kind of...
I can't go. Can't make it.
Can't make it, guys. Yeah, we'll be there. And so we'll see what this new year kind of offers. Every year's a different year. I need to find that little vest that I...
Yikes.
Yeah,
I returned mine.
I do not know where that is.
Alan, we'll see you there Saturday for sure.
Yes, you will. I know where my orange vest is. So, also shout out to Thomas for saving my life on Saturday for finding me 2 Band-Aids.
Again, shouting out the staff from Loyal, who, again, some of them were like, "Why Hillcrest to Chula Vista, and then here?" And they got an education on San Diego's freeway system. So,
Yeah, like driving on the 5. Yes.
In any case, Alan, we are glad that everything is starting up again. Hopefully we can have you on these little capsules, and then see you out there, because we've got work to do. The season's starting, and it's not going to stop.
Shiva, I love you so much. I only mentioned it once.
Thank you. I appreciate
That's how much I love you.
I appreciate that. I don't know what you're talking about, but I appreciate it.
Neither do I, but I love you. I love you both, guys. We'll see you guys out there Saturday, and I can't wait.
Laters, Alan. Love you too.
Bye.
Gosh, I can't stand Alan sometimes.
Jesus. So, I mean, that's kind of what we have there.
Ay, qué mierda de uniformes de San Diego Wave.
Just San Diego in general is not doing well when it comes to kits this season. I'm just trying to wrap my head around what's going on. Like, is Nate Kading designing these kits for us? Like, what's going on here in San Diego? So there were rumors again
Yesterday, yeah.
because we are fair. Like, I'm sorry, we're not picking on you guys, but we're just being as fair as can be. Sources, as we have Alan here in the top right. Bye, Alan.
Ay, uniformes.
Sources on what the new kits for San Diego Wave could potentially be for this upcoming season. Some of the reactions over here on the right-hand side is...
They got roasted on the comments, man. It was not pretty. The kits, whatevers. I like the numbers, but it's a template uniform. That's what it is. I mean, you have some teams in the NWSL who have very cool uniforms, but...
So, LAF's as Angel City paid more to Nike to have those proprietary new cool
Wave
designs.
has the money for that. No?
Wave has the money for it, but their agreement was for a 2-year thing with Nike. Last year, the thing was that they had some sort of deal in place with Nike, and it was very last minute because the club started very last minute. I mean, we're gonna show it. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the jersey itself, up and close in color, there is a little bit more texture to it. There are some details, but ultimately, it's very much
Whack.
similar to the last one.
Whack. Might as well just keep the same kit. I was talking to someone from the team on Third Avenue, right? And I forgot to mention this, but it applies to this as well. It used to be a time before where teams
Very
wouldn't
behind the
change
scenes.
uniforms
Yeah.
every season. They
Yeah.
would change them like every 3-4 seasons.
Yeah.
Wave should have just done that this season.
Just should have stuck with last year's. I mean, essentially they
Yeah.
did, right? Essentially they did stick with last
They
year's.
just said, you know what? Let me get this template this year. We'll see what we pick next year. Not creative at all. And I mean, the struggle of being Nike, right? Nike has not produced decent uniforms in a while. But again, for me, you know me, Tony. If they play well and they win, that's all that matters. They'll win the fans regardless. People will still buy the kits regardless. There's going to be little girls out there who tell their parents, I want this Wave kit. I don't care if it's, I want it with Alex Morgan's number or Naomi Guillermo's number and name on the back. So they're
So
going to
then-
sell kits regardless.
Yeah, so then you have the white one as well, the away one, which is basic, same,
Yeah.
same thing.
I like this one better.
San Diego Waste.
San Diego Waste, shout out to Papi Chavo, said he's going to bring him back. Hit him up for your order. Way cheaper than $90 for the replica or $120 for the authentic.
But yeah, I do like the ball. Like we were talking
The
about,
ball
like,
is
the ball's
cool.
really cool.
That's cool. I like it better
Just
than
because
the
we actually
USL ball.
felt
Yeah.
it, there's really cool textures, like the
Acordado,
technology that goes.
touching on
It's
it, yep.
top notch. That's top notch Nike right there. That's really good, really good.
Nike does produce good soccer balls. They do that in cleats. They do pretty good cleats as well.
Yeah,
Uniforms, whack.
San Diego's just not doing well with uniforms. I don't know what's going on. So almost like the opposite, right? Like people say, like they set the bar high over at Loyal with their uniforms, but Wave set them very, very low.
Like, I mean, do you think there's players and that talk to each other and say, "Damn, we have to play in this whack ass uniforms. Damn, that sucks. Whatever's." Or do you think they don't really care? It's just a uniform. I mean, it's more about the crest, right? Than what
They're
the
gonna
uniform
sell.
looks
Like
like.
that's the thing. Like that's the thing with
yes.
Wave. Like they know they're gonna sell. They know
Because
they're
they know
gonna.
their target
They're
audience,
gonna.
dude. They know. They're
have
smart.
the fans already there. Like they got them, but again, the opposite of Loyal, right? Like Loyal has that tight knit family already built, despite some best efforts from multiple ways. Wave, I mean, it's the Wave is like that prepackaged product, and that's the thing with that's the thing I've noticed with soccer teams here in the States is that you're never gonna fight for it. Like you're never gonna struggle. Sure, it's hard. Sure, it's difficult. Loyal, maybe, but even then, like it's like every club comes in a pre-packaged box. And it's like you open it and you have to put the pieces together. But in the old days, say in Europe, say in Mexico, like these teams started from literally people getting together, deciding to band, and this is my team back in 150 years ago, thinking like of the oldest clubs in La Liga, Liga MX, thinking of old clubs in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was history, like there was struggles, financial struggles. There were like legit hardships that they had to go through. And, now it's almost like it's a business where you just plop it here bloop, and just hopefully it grows. Like it's going to grow. You just need to water it, but there's no tact to it. There's no anything that kind of anchors you to a history because you just want to assume the history is already here and just take what's already here. So there's no effort into being part of the history other than just highlighting the history poorly and saying, hey, look at what we have here. Look, we can be just as critical with Wave, right? Their release video has the signs of North Park, Hillcrest, or whatever, Kingston, Kensington. We know who they're appealing to. We know where most of the people who work / play for the team live. They don't live south of the 8. I'll tell you that much.
No, they don't.
There's not a lot of extensions south of the 8. There's not a lot of opportunities. There are a couple of components, such as Morgan, when she gives tickets out. Sometimes she reaches out to the YMCA and gives tickets out that way. Lushakas.
Lushakas.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I don't know. Like, who is this for? Like, I don't know.
Well, Tony, is for the 30,000 people that go watch those games.
30,000 people.
So that's who it's for. Regardless of how much we argue and plead to go south to the 8 a little bit more, they're still going to sell out Snapdragon for the home open. They're still going to have an average of 20,000 people going to those games, 15 to 20,000, which is numbers other teams here in San Diego wish they could have.
Yeah, Albion,
Loyal, Sockers.
I want to see 30,000 people at a San Diego Sockers game.
That would be so dope. How dope would that be? Damn.
There you go. Naomi's not happy about this jersey. She's like,
This shit again.
Not again. All right.
Hey, man, that's the future of women's soccer you're talking
really
about,
is.
all right? But yeah, nobody liked the kits. Some people tried defending on social media. I don't know why.
But in the meantime, you did join the press conference that Wave had earlier. You got to talk to Kailen Sheridan.
Yes, I did.
And you asked an excellent question, so let's get to that.
Great start. I obviously was gone for the first few weeks, but being back in with the group and seeing all the work that they've been doing and kind of catching up with them has been really exciting. I think we want to build off what we've accomplished from last year, and that was such an incredible year for us and our inaugural season. And this season is only, the expectation for it is only better and higher. And I think you can feel that with everybody who's on this team from last year and who's coming in. They know what the Wave is and they just want to add to it. So it's kind of cool to have players come in and already like know that the standard and the level is high.
2 balls and a mic. Do you want to go first?
I got selected first.
Yeah. Hey, Kailen, great to have you back in San Diego. Last season, you had competition with Carly Telford, who stepped up in some games in your absence.
She did.
And now you're adding Lauren as coming in as a rookie. Do you see yourself being a mentor to her? And are you excited for the group of goalkeepers that San Diego Wave has this season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if I see myself as a mentor. She sees me as one. I would
Someone
love
said
that.
the
I
sweater
don't
she
wanna
has on is better than the
step out of
kids.
turn on that, but I think last year it was an incredible environment for us to learn and grow from each other.
True.
And we want to continue that. And she has so many strengths in different areas than us. And hopefully we can teach her some things that we can learn from her as well. I think that's the environment that we want to keep here in San Diego, is just that like challenge and competitiveness, but ultimately we're all trying to help each other get better. And if we can stick to that, then we're all going to improve. So it's better than being negatively competitive. So I hope she fits in well already. She's so positive, and yeah, I think she's going to be an incredible addition to the team.
So talking about new incoming goalkeeper, obviously, I believe 33rd overall pick in the NWSL draft this offseason from UCLA. UCLA having a pretty good run last year, beating undefeated Charlotte and Duke in some really intense matches. Actually, she had some really good interventions in some of those games. Talking about Lauren, who is, let me see if I can bring it up, because I want to make sure.
Is this breaking?
I guess it is.
Breaking.
2 balls and a mic. We'll be having goalkeeper for San Diego Wave on later on this week. Say that last name for me, please.
Why do I have to say the last name?
Say that last name
Why
for
do
me,
I
please.
have to? I saw you smiling.
Say that last name for me.
All right, put a camera close to me. Ready? Lauren. Well, I need to see the letters, my boy. Can you show me that picture one more time? Brixie? See, I need the spelling. You have the picture. Pull up the picture real quick, man.
I'm getting it.
Come on, man. Lauren Brixie? Sixty. Sixty. I don't know, dude. I struggle with your last name. Sanchez. Oh, but when in doubt, in Spanish.
Oh, okay, go in Spanish.
Sixty. Oh, does she say her name?
Lauren Brisky.
What did he say?
Lauren Brisky.
That's not what he said.
That's
Is the goalkeeper for the top.
Lauren Brisky. Listen.
Brisky. Why is the Z before the Y?
Lauren Brisky.
Brisky. I think she misspelled her last name, bro.
She Anyway,
We'll get
Lauren
her right for the
Brisky,
interview,
goalkeeper for
yeah.
San Diego Wave, coming on the pod. Our first episode, first interview, real, with a San Diego Wave goalkeeper and player, just in general. So that's going to be exciting. Hopefully that leads into more exciting interviews. I really want to talk to.
Stoney.
I mean, obviously they already
Naomi
told us
Girma?
no. Naomi Girma is one. Love to talk to Korniak, Kailen Sheridan.
Alex Morgan, la neta como que no.
She eats Chipotle. That was her.
Why are you
first
acting like you don't
thing-
eat Chipotle,
First
though?
thing that she did. in
Why are you
San
acting
Diego.
like you don't eat Chipotle? I've seen you eat Chipotle at lunch at work
Because
like
I
3 times a
need
week.
To eat. Oh, see, 3 times
3
a week.
times a week. The boy has
see,
money for that.
3 times. Oh,
Boy's got
no
money.
kinds. No kinds. You were still on the call later for Coach Casey Stoney.
Yes, I was.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we've had a really good kind of 3.5 weeks. Team have been working really hard. Obviously working on our physical fitness and the new relationships within the team. And it's great to have the internationals back off a long spell away.
Okay. 2 balls and a mic.
Oh, first again.
Of course.
Where are you, Chiba?
Hi, Casey. Thank you for your time. With preseason already on their way and you have Houston Dash upcoming already, what are the most important things you're focusing? Is it player performances, like individually, or is it team chemistry for the upcoming season?
Yeah, the nose thing.
Yeah, I think obviously it's about players. I'm not really focused on individual performances too much at the moment. It's about building relationships, building chemistry, and building performances. I think players have a long off season here. In my opinion, it's too long, so it takes them a little while to get back in. But yeah, more about the chemistry and the relationships, and just having a go at the new little nuances to the game that we've been trying to bring in.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, got it. Oh,
Thank you, Coach.
thank you, Coach.
Appreciate
You can find the rest of the press conference on our channel,
Huh.
2 balls and a mic.
We have 555 subscribers. Make sure you share this and tell your friends to subscribe.
Yeah, just subscribe. That's all we ask for. Just
Subscribe.
subscribe. Just one thing.
Subscribe.
And we've
On
actually
YouTube.
gotten a lot of subscribers off since the last episode. So
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
really appreciate that. There is upcoming season preseason activity for San Diego Wave. There is going to be a preseason game at Snapdragon where people will be allowed to go in and
They had a match
see.
against Houston Dash. No results were posted.
Quién sabe.
Quién sabe
I
qué
believe
pasó.
Dash did post some highlights. We have sources actually who told me that Dash had that. The thing is, like, much like Loyal, again, we'll be like, where is it? Where is your information?
Mhm.
Are you not having people go to the games? Are you just chilling with your hands in your pockets and waiting for everything to sell itself? Like, I don't know. I have a couple of conocidos, friends, some people that everybody kind of knows, and I think Wave can be doing a lot more in a lot of ways. I don't like necessarily the muteness that's in their front office. We don't hear anything from their front office. They've been named in some articles that aren't very pleasant. But I mean, if they sidestep that, whatever, focusing on soccer, sure, but give us that content, because again, people are going to start snooping around and finding your kits because they posted them. That's how they got leaked. They were posted on the youth sizes website.
Shit gets leaked all the time, man. Get used to it. You want to make it big time? You want to be a big time club? Stuff's going to get leaked. You can't get upset over it. Speaking to all San Diego teams.
But yeah. Yeah, so I think we've addressed it a couple times already.
I commented on that
Yeah,
too.
so-
We had Soccer's 2 commentary at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So, it's a job, commitment. We get paid for that. So I much rather go to my job than a preseason match at the Olympic Training Center. Sorry.
100%.
It was a good game
We're
for
not
them.
even allowed to record.
Yeah. So
So it's fine. I mean, Soccer's 2 is happening. You're
their second win of the season.
shown here early on in the first quarter.
I think Soccer's do need to see more of Brian Rodriguez, right? He has been the star player this season as he has the ball right here already.
Rodriguez looking for some help, but still managing with that left. He shoots it. Un gol. Qué golazo. I mean,
I like that
I
little.
just
Qué
want to start talking
golazo.
about that goal. You were talking about
Brian
Brian right
Rodriguez
there.
stepping up right there. And what does he do? He steps up, dribbles past the player, gets the shot, and puro angulito, Tony. What a goal by Brian Rodriguez here.
Using that leverage, that left
was a great
hand,
call
that
from both of us.
left-footed
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
rocket.
Defender gets
Oh.
out of the way.
It's in my
He puts
pocket.
his head on
Why is
that.
it in your
Doesn't
pocket?
get
It's cold.
scared. He
Bring your
deflects
stupid
that
gloves.
shot.
First of
Maybe
all,
it's
don't
all tied up now.
Maybe
freaking
the
call
right call. You know,
stupid.
sometimes you gotta
Call
make
them
a
stupid,
business
all right? They
decision.
keep my hands warm.
Okay, the gloves aren't stupid because you have them. It makes them stupid gloves.
Thank you. The gloves are not
gloves
stupid.
are not
Yeah.
stupid.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
San Diego
Llévenme?
Soccer's 2.
6 months in soccer, llévenme? No, thank you.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the UT getting roasted on Twitter recently? They're not going to care, and it's not going to happen. The clubs are still going to pay for their ad space. They're still going to pay to get stories made poorly.
Because you could say the clubs maybe don't care sometimes.
So, I mean, yeah. I mean, the people know that the UT is absolute garbage in most ways.
When it comes
so
to
the
soccer coverage, at least.
I mean, no, in most ways. But,
Oh.
yeah, just in most ways. But, I mean, I think it's it's just people who know don't go to the San Diego Union Tribune for their soccer news. They don't go they either find it out by themselves
They go to freaking 2 balls and a mic.
or they go to 2 balls and a mic. And we've gotten a lot of good praise, and people have coming up. Ex-players, because we had Sal Zizzo last week. Ex-players and some current players from Loyal. Like, hey, like, really liking what's happening. Like, really rate
Keep
you
it
guys.
up, yeah.
So we'll keep it on up because, again, it's still fun.
Still fun.
It's still
6 months in
fun.
soccer. I hope you know I'm kidding. I love you, dude. But it's
Eric
it's the work.
Sanchez, I like this. We'll talk about it. Chelsea going to turn it around tomorrow, no doubt. Hay niveles, papá. UCL Champions League. I'm telling you, dude, Chelsea is going to win the Champions League.
Okay.
But before that, it was really cool seeing the San Diego Soccers on Fox 5. Childs getting himself a mustachioed hat trick. There's a really cool, well, I think it's the second one. It's not this one.
Shout out to Jerry Jimenez getting his phone smacked for a goal.
That was. I will leave that footage for them because that is probably the coolest footage.
The footage.
The footage. Some of the coolest footage that has come out of soccer's and just soccer in general. You see the Child's goal, La Curva, and it smashes his phone. Check out Soccer's Overtime tomorrow at 5 p.m. on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/San Diego Soccers.
Not
San Diego
paliza,
Soccer's
pero-
destroyed.
Yeah,
Like, destroyed.
beautiful to see.
Yeah, like every single one of these goals are amazing.
Moises, Craig is so smooth
In
with
his
it.
Duolingo bag.
He's so good with it, man.
Yeah, this was fine. You can tell. I mean, Boris Parta's already out of the game. But no, there was a goal that was really good. Let's see. I think it was.
No Pio Pio Pio?
No, Pio.
No Pio Pio Pio. Maybe on March 17th?
Was it this one? No. I really need to see this.
I think it might have been the second goal. No, not that one.
Fourth goal?
I don't know, Sabo. Oliveira. Go to a soccer smash, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Good, Leo. Really fun, really cool. San Diego Soccers probably on track for another playoff run. That means playoff games that we get to call in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
So that is awesome. What else?
You're Chelsea? I mean, that's kind of what we have for local soccer. If I swear something again in the chat about 7-0 or Man U right now, I will leave this podcast early. Damn it.
I mean, that's actually what Man U news, question mark. Any Man U news, says Danny, oh, the boy? Oh, what happened?
Now he listens to the freaking
What
podcast.
happened?
The boy
What
listens to the
happened?
podcast now.
What
Out
happened?
of nowhere.
What happened? I don't know.
Tony, I swear to God, Tony. I swear to God, Tony, don't do it. Tony,
I won't
take
have
that
you.
shit
I
off.
won't have you see it.
Take that shit
Wow.
off.
22 minutes of highlights, man. This must have been
Tony,
a really back and forth
I'm gonna
game.
go home, Tony.
Look, this is only 2 minutes.
I don't want to see it.
You don't have to. Why are you looking at
I
it?
don't want to listen to it.
And Gakpo, and still Cody
Cody Gakpo. There was a play where Mo Salah destroyed Licha Martinez. I felt bad for the boy. Like, I felt bad for the boy. This has to be the worst that David De Gea has to have felt in a United kit. Like, it's over for him.
And this is going to come for Salah.
This one. No.
Sure, only half away. Goal!
So you're still watching at 2-0, right?
It's delight.
Because you told me that you woke up, you watched, it was 1-0.
Yeah, I went to go play soccer at halftime.
Start to the second half.
And then by the time I got to the park,
Sandro
it was 3-0.
Martinez is
I
the
said, okay,
defender.
fuck this shit.
Salah's turned in one way,
It's an
then
off
the
game,
other.
man.
Gakpo!
Off game.
Oh, incredible
I mean, an
goal.
off game is like a
It's a
3-0.
fiend of absolute beauty.
This is
Fuck up,
historical.
dude. Your Chelsea is just
This is
garbage right now. You can't
historical.
talk. It was just a bad game. You know, we got destroyed. Bad game. Whatever. Move on. Move on. We already got a trophy. We're going to win the freaking Europa League. We're going to win the FA Cup. It's okay. Whatever. Ten Hag is going to put his foot down. It's okay. Yeah, whatever. Moving on from that, we're going to talk Champions League, not Premier League.
Oh, no. I didn't see that.
Mohamed Salah sits atop the charts now.
Wow.
Now,
I'm leaving.
icon of Liverpool's goal scoring.
Hey, you're at 6. You got 6. You got
Salah, surely not
You got
another
6,
hat-trick
boy.
in this match. Oh, Firmino. It is another.
Oh, what a goal.
Liverpool.
Even hasta Firmino te anotó.
Astonishing, incredible.
The
greatest
boy
win against
flipping it
Manchester
off.
United there's
Legitimately
ever been
left.
has been served up on one.
This one legitimately left. All right. Well. Oh. Sorry. Okay.
For Salah.
You haven't taken that shit off? Yeah, I get it.
I didn't get
Started it over?
I didn't see the second goal that well, boy. 7-0. How do you feel? What does that make you feel? Like you feel?
Can you unmute me? It makes me feel like nothing. All right, it doesn't matter. Whatever, it happens. Moving on.
What do the comments say? 7 reasons why I love. Oh, 7 reasons he love. Okay, 7 reasons why this is the best pod in San Diego. I'd love to hear 7. Like, what 7 reasons? Top 7 Man U moments. Number 7, Liverpool versus Manchester United, March 5th, 2023. Cody with a goal, soccer ball instead of that's creative. One ball on the mic. That was one ball on the mic for a quick second there. I really thought you were gonna leave.
No, I left my car keys here.
Move on. I should have hidden those. Can't beat the best of the top means. Who does United play tomorrow? Who do you guys play tomorrow?
Play on Thursday.
What? No. But tomorrow is like Champions League. Like
No, we play on Thursday in
No,
the
no,
Europa
but-
League. We don't play Champions League.
Champions League is tomorrow though. Like
Yeah,
you guys
no, we're
are
not
this
in Champions
badass
League
team.
because we sucked last season.
You guys
We're
are
going to
this
be in Champions
badass
League
team
next
that's
season.
like gonna be like a world beater, and we don't need Ronaldo. Like no, look at us, we have Rashford, and but did Rashford play?
What place is Chelsea in right now, Tony? Tell me, what place is Chelsea in right now?
Chelsea's
You guys
gonna
are
win
in
the Champions
10th
League.
place.
Champions
10th
League.
place. You guys lost to Dortmund already in the first leg. You guys are going to be out of Champions League. What's your excuse when you guys lose Champions League?
What's there to
What's
play?
the excuse
What's
once
there
you
to
guys
play?
lose tomorrow?
That's not a thought in my mind that we're gonna lose.
You better think of something for the next episode because
No.
I'm coming for your fucking head when you guys are out of Champions League. You guys don't make the Champions League next season. I'm coming for your freaking head. You better hope you guys somehow can make a comeback against Dortmund because if not, your ass is mine.
Your ass is mine.
Fuck you.
No, but seriously, what time are you guys play tomorrow? So I mean, Chelsea is one of the fixtures against Dortmund. I won't ask. It's fine. Like we have everybody where we want them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You guys are not playing that pretty.
But guess which one of our teams didn't lose 7-0, but also didn't lose last week?
Chivas?
Chelsea, way.
Oh.
I mean, Chivas también. Remember when United won a Farmers Cup and swear like it's a United Champions League? A Farmers Cup. People who are legitimate farmers.
You fucking
play
wish
there.
you could win that Farmers Cup right now.
Best player in the world.
You guys spent what, like 400 million freaking euros already?
To win the Champions League.
Boy,
We're gonna get all
next
that- all
episode is
that
gonna be
money
so
back.
fun. I
All
can't
this
wait to
money's
hear your
back.
excuses.
And
I
what
can't
are you
wait to
gonna
hear
do?
your
What are you-
goddamn excuses.
What are you gonna do when they win?
The
What are you gonna do
if
when
Chelsea
they win?
wins the Champions
No,
League,
no,
I
no.
will shave my fucking head.
This whole thing about like not beating Dortmund, step by step, Bobby. We had to beat Napoli first. Napoli came in wet. Now what? What's gonna happen now? Oh, we're gonna play against Barcelona. Oh, we play Barcelona. Oh no, John Terry with the red card. Oh, Didier Drogba penalty. Oh, Czech stopped it. Oh, Fernando Torres. Oh.
What about Iniesta's goal against Barcelona? That was great.
That was
That was great. That was a beautiful goal
That was
as well.
great. That was
Yep.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
Uh,
We didn't win that one, by the way. When was the last time you guys won one?
a while ago.
A while ago. You were still in high school.
When was the last time you guys won a trophy?
2
Any
years
trophy?
ago. 2 years ago.
Cool. We just won one this year already.
Again, you know,
Yeah,
like this.
yeah.
Where's
Shut
the
up.
little trophy
Yep,
here?
yep,
I'll
yep,
give
yep.
that to you. Vale madre.
Dortmund winning tomorrow against Chelsea for sure. You have Benfica who won 2-0 against Club Brugge. I think they probably solidify the win and they go through. PSG Bayern Munich. Neymar's out for 3 to 4 months with the
Season.
surgery. Bayern's up 1-0. Is this the end of PSG? Is this Messi's 1 and out of the Champions League this season? Or do you think they pull off a comeback? Mbappe.
I mean, if Mbappe is at full strength, you can never count that team out. So, with it being only 1-0, I think it's there. It's going to be tough to play away for PSG, but anything is possible. But I think Bayern have the stronger overall team in this one. Tottenham, Milan, these teams are in the Champions League and Manchester United isn't.
Yeah.
The fuck.
Just answering a comment. Predictions for Saturday match against Detroit. We already said that in the first hour of the podcast. You can scroll back. You can rewind.
What did I say? 2-1.
2-1. I said 3-0.
Alan said
2-0? 2-1?
probably.
Yeah. I got Bayern moving on. I got Bayern.
Okay. Tottenham, Milan.
Milan. I
Milan.
don't have no faith in Tottenham.
Porto,
Tottenham's just
Inter.
whatever's.
Porto. I mean, I have
I'm
no
gonna go with
vested
Inter.
interest. I like Inter.
Yeah.
Man City tying with our Red Bulls Leipzig.
I think they passed through against
yeah,
Leipzig.
Man City has
That's
to.
going to be on. That's next week, though. So
That is next week, so we'll talk about that later.
yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
tomorrow
Chelsea's gonna win.
Dortmund
Chelsea's gonna
wins, Benfica wins, Bayern wins, Milan wins, and they advance to the quarterfinals.
Midori Kazumi thinks that PSG loses tomorrow. Okay, we'll see. But I mean, there is still a lot of Champions League to be played, especially for my team. Are you even in the top 4 right now? Right, you're barely in the top 4.
We're third place
Third?
right now.
Cool. Liverpool's
You guys
coming
are
back up.
10th.
Doesn't
You
matter.
can't talk shit. You're 10th place.
Why do clubs want to end up if you're not going to win, right? Which is our obviously 1-2 race. Arsenal City, right? Can we agree on that?
Sure.
What else is there to do in the Premier League? What's the goal, if not to
You're
win?
not gonna win the Champions League,
You're not answering my question.
dude. You're not even
You're
gonna play
not
on
answering my
Thursdays next
question.
season
You're not answering my question. What is
to try to qualify for
Champions League? Guess what? You're gonna be 4th.
No, we're not.
Chelsea's gonna win the Champions League,
Oh my gosh.
and Manchester United is gonna be booted out.
If they finish 4th, they get a playoff match to go into the Champions League.
Mato, you've been dwelling in the Europa League. You can't compete in Champions League, obviously.
Guess who's not even gonna have Europa League next season? Your fucking shitty ass
Because we're gonna
team.
be in Champions League. I'll say
Nope.
it, like
No.
I'll say it.
Quiero hablar de equipos grandes, mis Chivas. Ya me ilusioné con las Chivas.
Chivas.
4 wins in a row.
Chivas.
Keep it up with the Liga MX. I don't even want to talk too much about it just because it's Chivas that are looking like a dark horse to win the league this season. They gonna have Alexis Vega coming back from injury soon. Nene Beltran is playing great. Pocho Guzman is freaking stepping up and scoring goals. Pocho Guzman, who they just signed, he's the captain. It's exciting. Se desvió.
Outside the box. It's still outside the box. You still shot it. Get it past the best goalkeeper in the league.
The youngest best goalkeeper, yeah. That's fun.
Sponsored by Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. in Mexico, man.
Bless
We've
Carl's
said
Jr.
it. Carl's Jr. in Mexico
tried
is
Carl's
top
Jr.?
tier.
Yeah, you need to try it. That's a golazo.
Gran Super Chivas, man. If Chivas win the championship, I will throw a party and invite everyone that is a Chivas fan to join me. You're not invited because you don't even watch the games. You do watch. You watch this game, I think, right? You hit me up. Yeah.
Oh damn, Manny. Who are you? I'd love to meet you, Manny. I'd love to meet you.
Y'all kind of falling off last 6 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, I would love to have a conversation with you face to face.
Me too.
I'm really curious.
Unless you're just like Twitter fingers or something like that, but whatever. What?
Tiptoe talking about how y'all weren't invited to Saturday's match. Pendejo. Whatever. I love it.
Yeah. Doesn't get it, I guess.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love everybody.
We love everyone that watches our
That
show and
pendejo's
supports.
from love. I call this pendejo all the time.
He does.
That's what's up, bro. But yeah, I mean, that's what we have. Belly button piercing for the Clásico.
I'm not betting a belly button piercing, but we are going to win the Clásico.
I like that. Next week, this upcoming week.
It's not next week. It's at the end of March.
Sure, bro. We have this week who have San Diego Loyal coming back, and we'll see how we go from there. Anything else, Chiba?
Stay tuned. Chelas con Chavos dropping later this week, an interview with Jordan from San Diego Wave, rookie this season. And thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell your friends to subscribe. That's all we're asking.
Sounds good. Bye.